In today's video, we are going to be going over the best Rolex watches that you can buy for under retail. Welcome back to the Chisholm Hunter channel. My name is Harrison, as always. And a slight disclaimer before we start this video, the date today, according to my laptop, because I have no concept of dates, is the 29th of July, 2025. Now, it goes without saying that the Rolex market is very liquid. It moves ups and downs, it kind of topsy-turvy, so it might change after this date, but it shouldn't change by much. So as of today, this is the prices. By the way, another caveat before we start this video is every single one of these watches are current lines. You can currently buy them from Rolex. They are not discontinued. I've split all these Rolex models into categories, into the different families within the Rolex arsenal. So let's begin with the Submariner. Beginning with the Rolex Submariner date reference 126613LB. This is commonly known as the Bluesy because of the yellow, gold, and of course blue dial. It is a bi-metal watch coming in at 41 millimeters in diameter. This model at retail comes in at £14,950, but the market price at the moment is currently sitting around about £12,000. With that said, the highest price that I could see this selling for was actually in 2024. I had a look back a year or two, and it sold at £14,750. Next on the list is a very similar watch to the one we just covered, but it does have a black dial. This is the Rolex Submariner reference 126613LN, and this has the retail price the same as the Bluesy as £14,950. The market price at the moment for this model is around about the £11,000 mark, and when looking back through the price records, I did see this sell in 2022 for around about £16,500. Now, please remember that there was a humongous spike over the kind of COVID period, over that lockdown period, and purely that was because people had more money to spend, and also they had more time to spend researching things that they enjoyed, and it turns out that the watch community is pretty big. So a lot of the fall in price of these models was actually caused by that humongous spike that happened over that weird COVID period. By the way, if you do enjoy luxury watch comment and want to do me a huge favor, if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. We have a huge giveaway coming up really soon, and it means so much more than you know. Thank you. Next on the list is one of my personal favorites. This is the Rolex Submariner date in full white gold with a blue bezel, and it comes with the reference number 126619LB. The retail price of this watch is a staggering £40,900, and the market value at the moment on the secondary market is trading around about £24,000. The highest recorded price that this model sold at was in 2022, again because of that big peak that happened, as I said, over this kind of COVID times. It kind of tailed off then, but it was still in that kind of fluctuation period, and it sold for £45,000. Next on the list, sticking to the Submariner, we have a full yellow gold Submariner. This is the Rolex Submariner date 126618LN. The retail price on this model is £38,100. The market price on this watch at the moment, the kind of secondary market price, is around about the £25,000 to £24,000, and the highest recorded price that I ever saw this sell for was in round about 2023, and it sold for £36,000. All right, so last up when it comes to the Submariner, and then we'll move on to another category. And by the way, you're going to want to stick around for some of the categories that are coming up because it's wild that these watches are trading the way they are, so you want to stick around for that. This is the Rolex Submariner date coming in with the reference number 126618LB. The retail price of this model is £38,100. The market value is around about the £26,000, and the highest recorded price that I saw this sell for was in around about 2022. Please remember that key period, and it sold for around about £42,000. I also find it quite interesting looking at the statistics when it comes to dial variations of the same watch that sell for more money. So currently the black dial full yellow gold is selling for more than the blue dial. And sometimes I wonder why this happens. I think it's because people like not plainer or not more boring, but they like less ambiguous colors, less flashy colors, and that's why it pushes the kind of more plain colors up in value in the secondary market. This is kind of a trend that you can see throughout the industry. Okay, so next up we have the GMT-Master II, and let's start with one of my favorites. Let's start with this. This is the Rolex GMT-Master II, commonly nicknamed as the root beer. It has to be one of my favorite Rolex models in the world. It's so classic, so clean. It comes with the reference number 126711CHNR. The retail price of this model is £15,450. Remember, year on year, they do have incremental price increases, so that might change in the next year. And currently on the secondary market, this is selling for around about £12,000 to £13,000. The highest recorded price that I saw, I couldn't look too far back on this one, but in 2024, I saw one that sold for almost £16,000. By the way, let me know in the comments if you've ever got a really good deal on a Rolex, and let me know what the model was and what the price should have been versus what you got it for. It's always interesting to kind of like analyze the market in that way. Right, next up we have a huge step up in price. This is the Rolex GMT-Master II 126719BLRO. The retail price is a staggering £39,700. The market price at the moment is trading for around about £33,000 to £34,000, and the highest recorded price that I could see was in 2023. I saw this sold at £48,000. I love the meteorite dial on this. I love the red or kind of burgundy and blue bezel. I love the fact it's in white gold. It's just such a stunning watch. And also, there is a truck reversing outside, and I can just hear the beep, beep, beep. Anyway, as I was saying, there is also a watch that just launched from Breitling. It's a Chronomat GMT, and it has the beautiful meteorite dial. And see, when I got that on the wrist, I understand the hype. I now understand the hype. Okay, so next on the list, we have another Rolex GMT-Master II. This is the reference number 126715. It's crafted entirely from rose gold, has a black dial and a brown and black ceramic bezel. The retail price comes in at £39,700, and the market price at the moment is around about the £25,000 to £26,000. In 2022, I did see that this sold for £48,000. The next GMT Master we're going to talk about comes with the reference number 126718. This comes again in full gold with a grey and black bezel with kind of faded gold numerals on that bezel that I really like. It comes in at a retail price of £37,900 and a market price of around about the £30,000 mark. The highest recorded price that I saw or I could find was in 2023 when it sold for £36,000. Okay, let's have a break from the GMTs and get on to the Datejust models. God, I love Rolex videos. I don't make them that often because I think it's kind of more mainstream, but I do love, you've got to love the brand. I love Rolex. Next up, we have the Rolex Datejust 41 with the reference number 126303. This is bimetal in gold and silver and has a gold dial and gold bezel. The retail price on this model is £13,000. The market price is around about the £8,000 to £9,000, and the highest price that I saw this sell at was in 2022 for £11,500. Next up, we have another Rolex Datejust 41 with the reference number 126301. The retail price on this model is £13,400. The market price is hovering around about the 10k mark, maybe sliding towards the 9 a little bit, and the highest recorded price that I could find, again, was in 2023, and it was around about £12,000. I'm actually having a look at this Datejust at the moment, and I actually really like that. I like how kind of plain it is, kind of simple it is, but it still kind of oozes class, and it is a little bit more flashy because of that gold. But I just like I like the simplicity that's on this watch. But the magnification window, I'm not sure about that. The Rolex Datejust 36mm is next. This has the reference number 126203, and this comes in at £11,500 at retail. The market price, or the secondary market price, is around about the £8,000 mark, or maybe aiming towards £9,000 at the moment. And the highest recorded price that I could find was again in 2022, and it was £9,500. Next on the list, this is either for my slim wrist gang out there or my ladies out there. This is a Rolex Datejust 31mm, and it has the model number 278275. The retail price on this model is £32,000, and that's because it's in full gold. It is a precious metal, and the market price is around about £23,000 to £24,000. The highest recorded price that I could see it selling at was actually weirdly in 2024, and it sold for around about £25,000. An iced out or partially iced out Datejust is next. This is the Rolex Datejust 36mm, reference number 126284RBR. The retail price on this model is £14,450. The market price is around about the £12,000 mark, and the highest recorded price was in 2022, kind of uncoincidentally, or what's the word that you would say that? Oh, there's a word for it. Can't remember. Anyway, it sold for £16,000 in 2022. The next category we're going to hit is the Rolex Daytona category. The Daytonas, by the way, as a unit, as like all their current lines, they do hold their value, especially the stainless steel models, a lot better than most of the other Rolex lines. So yeah, it seems like through this storm in the watch industry, the Daytonas are kind of standing fast, but there are a couple that are selling below retail. This is the Rolex Daytona reference 126505. It has beautiful black subdials, a kind of champagne-y looking dial, which pairs with that gold on, of course, the Daytona beautifully. The retail price of this model is £44,200. The market price sits around about the £37,000 to £38,000, and the highest recorded price that I could find this sold was in 2024 at £42,000. Next up, we have an absolute pimp of a Rolex Daytona. This is the reference number 126508. It has a black dial, is in full gold, has kind of goldy looking sub-dials, and has a red band round the outside with the second track, which I think is such a cool detail. This comes in at £41,200. The market price, or the secondary price, is around about £37,000, and the highest recorded price that I could find was in 2023 at £41,000. A full white gold Daytona is next. This is the reference number 126509, and this is a beauty. I honestly love this watch. The retail price is £44,200. The market price is around the £33,000 mark, and I did find one that sold in 2023 for £55,000. Okay, so let's move on to the Oyster Perpetuals now, partially because there's not actually that many Daytonas selling it below retail. So let's move on to Oyster Perpetuals. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 34 with a pinky champagne-y looking dial coming in full stainless steel, and it has the reference number 124200. This comes in at £5,100, has the market price of around about £5,000, but I've seen them selling for about £4,800, and the highest recorded price was in 2021, where one of these sold for £6,700. I just want to throw in something really quick, guys. I don't believe in buying a watch just to sell it. I don't think it's right. Now, yes, I have an interest in the secondary market. I like watching how things perform and how things do, just from an interest point of view. But as a true watch enthusiast and as a true collector, you should never really buy a watch with the objective to sell it. You know, whenever I buy a timepiece, I always want to hand it down through the generations or buy it for a special occasion. So it's more sentimental than just a price. I think that I don't really get that side of things. This is just out of pure interest. Next on the list, we have a very similar watch to this. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 28mm, and it has the reference number 276200. The retail price on this model is £4,950. The market price is around about £4,799 or £4,800, I should say. And the highest recorded price that I could find this sell for was in 2024 at £4,800. Moving on to an underrated category in Rolex's arsenal, we have the day date. This is the day date 40, reference 228235. The retail price on this is £40,400. The market price hovers around about the £35,000 mark, and the highest recorded price that I could find this sell for was in 2024 at £42,000. By the way, I love the combination here. I love how that green plays off that gold, or that kind of rose gold. Stunning. Taking a very large aesthetic sidestep, we get to the Rolex Day Date 40 with the reference number 228239. This has the retail price of £40,400. Remember that this is white gold, not stainless steel. That's why it's so expensive. And the market price is around about the £28,000 mark. I did find one of these that sold in 2023 for £33,000. £4,000. One of my personal favorites is next. This is the Rolex Day Date 36mm with the reference number 128236. This is in platinum. Remember that when Rolex do platinum models, a lot of the time they have that beautiful baby blue kind of dial, or most of the time or all of the time. I think it's most of the time. I think there's some exceptions, but yeah, most of the time they have that baby blue dial. The retail price on this model is £51,200. The market price is around about that £41,000 mark. And interestingly, in 2025, I actually found one of these that sold for £47,000. So maybe they're on the up. Explorers. You've got to love Explorers. I love Explorers. The more boring, the better when it comes to Explorers. They're so understated, and I love it. There's also not that many in current production with Rolex, so I've only really highlighted one. This is the Rolex Explorer reference 124273. It is in bimetal, so gold and stainless steel. The retail price is £11,250, and the market price is around about £7,000. The highest recorded price that I saw was in 2022 at £11,500. Explorer 2s, again, not many of them in production from Rolex. You have a white dial and a black dial, and that's more or less it. Now, the black dial is not as popular as the white dial, so the white dial does fetch a little bit more, so I've only included the black dial here. So the retail price of the black dial is £8,550. The market price is £7,600, and I did see this sell in 2023 for £9,100. The Sky Dweller category, the most complicated watch that Rolex makes, and Sky Dwellers are very pimping watch. Like, you can imagine being like, who's the guy, the Narcos drug dealer that was like Pablo Escobar wearing a Sky Dweller. First up, we have the reference number 336238. This has a rubber strap, comes in full gold with a charcoal black dial. The retail price is £40,100. The market price is £27,000-ish, maybe a bit higher than that. And the highest price that I saw this sold at was around about 2024 for £29,000. Next up, we go into the rose gold models, and I love this combination. This is the reference number 336235. It comes in at £41,100. The market price hovers around about the 30k mark, and the highest recorded price that I saw it sold in was in 2023 for about £32,000. Next up, we have an absolutely epic looking Rolex Sky Dweller. This comes in full rose gold, and it has a beautiful blue dial. The retail price on this is £49,600. The market price is around about the £44,000 mark. And in 2023, I did see one of these sell for £54,000. By the way, in order to gather all this information, I used Watch Charts UK and also used Chrono24 and kind of spliced these two together. If you're interested in secondary market prices and all that kind of stuff, it's super, super interesting, so I will link it below for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit that subscribe button or follow our Instagram at Chisholm Hunter Watches or my Instagram at HB Lifelens. We also have a podcast, the Into the Mind podcast, and I'll see you guys real soon.